A Moscow broker explains what's happening in Russia's chaotic markets where vultures are scavenging for profit, and the Kremlin is propping up stocks in the ruble. This just came out in Market Insider. The Russian stock market has really come back quite a bit, but the ruble's come back almost to, in fact, it's actually come back before the big drop that occurred back in February. But a strange calm seems to have settled over the Russian markets, but scratch under the surface and almost everything has changed it was talking about. Now, the government's propping up the ruble and holding together Moscow's stock market with foreign investors all but barred. Iskander Lutsko of Moscow, broker ITI Capital, tells insiders what's going on in the completely artificial markets right now. That we're talking about here, getting the inside scoop on what traders are talking about. Now, this has just come out, and it was talking about how much the ruble has come back. Now, the stock market is still down from its high of in October, around 48%. I just checked today, roughly. But it was talking about today that almost 2 months after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, a strange calm appears to have descended on the country's financial markets. Russia's ruble has now fully recovered from its dramatic crash in the days following the attack. Now, the country's stocks remain deep in negative territory for the week, but the dramatic sell-offs seen in late February are now a thing in the past. Now, if you take a look under the surface, so you'll see the strong arm of the Russian state strenuously holding the markets together. The government has introduced strict capital controls that have boosted the ruble, and it's banned foreign investors from ditching domestic assets. Also, folks, if you want to legally get your income taxes to zero, how to get a second passport as quick as 45 days, do 3 things. Hit the subscribe button at the right of your screen right here and the notification bell next to it, and you get new videos automatically as they come out. And number 2 is I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, just put it below. Number 3 is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. If you'd like to get your assets in order, and also as far as getting your taxes down legally. Now, we don't deal with equities. We deal with real estate assets and getting second passports. So if you're interested in something like this, just get with us. Now, Iskander Lutsko is Chief Investment Strategist at ITI Capital, a major financial broker in Russia. He's worked in financial markets for 15 years, including Sberbank, Russia's biggest lender. He spoke to the Insider this week, and what's really going on in Russia's is really completely artificial markets right now. What's happened is, they're restricting the selling of equities from foreigners, and it's artificially propped up the stock market there in Russia. Now, stocks don't reflect the unfortunate reality. Moscow's Molex stock index has tumbled roughly 40% so far this year, but it's risen around 9% since bottoming in late February. Now, Lutsko believes its level should be considerably lower. The Russian equity market doesn't reflect the unfortunate true reality, he said, simply because non-residents are restricted from selling. Now, in 2021, foreigners owned about 80% of the tradable stocks on the Moscow exchange, worth around $200 billion US dollars. It's been really a really wild ride here in the Russian stock market. According to our estimates, it talked about here, at least $50 billion of equity exposure is still on funds balances. Lutsko said mostly U.S. dedicated funds and European funds. Now, as I mentioned to you, this came out in Markets Insider. A recent ruling by Moscow that instructed Russian companies to revoke any share listings they have abroad could trigger a wave of selling, he said, once those so-called depository receipts are repatriated. Now, according to our estimates that we're talking about here, there's at least 900 billion rubles, which is roughly around 11 billion worth of depository receipts abroad of Russian stocks that could be sold by local investors on Molex. And it went on to say that a lack of foreign players in the market has caused liquidity to dry up, making it harder to buy and sell assets. Retail investors who have little understanding and idea how to play the market now dominate trading, according to the Moscow broker. Now, it was talking about here that Russians are coming out to play now. Over the bond market, the situation's even worse. Russia's government and many of its biggest companies are on the verge of default on their foreign debts, according or after U.S. sanctions stymied their access to the global financial system. Now, bonds in many big companies such as Gazprom have plunged. But Lutzko said that the crash in prices has attracted bargain hunters, hoping to profit from a rebound in prices if the Ukraine picture changes. Now, although he avoids the term, such investors are typically referred to as vultures. He went on to say that, this is what you're seeing, folks. You're seeing a lot of these people that are bargain hunters coming out in the local market there in Russia. But this is kind of a risky type, a real type risky market to be in right now. Because I think what's going to happen is when these foreigners are allowed to sell their shares, you're going to see, I think, the market really drop a lot. How long, I don't know, but I think that's what you're going to see. He went on to say that I know that many moderate-sized hedge funds and even many local brokers are looking for opportunities to buy Russian Eurobonds he was talking about. Now, ITI's Guernsey entity has been facilitating these trades, buying bonds at 20 to 30% of their face value. There's been a very great interest in this. Lutzko was talking about. Now, the ruble is completely artificial, and I totally agree with him on this. The rapid rebound in the Russian ruble caused some analysts to ask whether Western sanctions were really having a desired effect. But Lutzko went on to say that it's not a reflection of the strength of the economy. The government has imposed tight capital controls that prevent rubles leaving the country and has instructed exporters to convert 80% of their foreign earnings into the currency. Now, the ruble is in a complete artificial environment regulated by the central bank, which makes sure that volatility remains limited. He was talking about, and he went on to say that we have a bit of dissonance or dislocation in the assets. It really is going to be, you're really not going to be able to tell that much on this until foreigners are going to be allowed to sell their assets. And then you're going to really see, I think, the ruble tumble again. How far and how long it will be before it comes back, who knows? If you want to learn more on this and other things on how to legally get your income taxes to zero, how to get a second passport as quick as 45 days, do 3 things, hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen right here and the notification bell next to it. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or a comment, just put it below. And number 3 is, folks, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, if you want to legally get your income taxes to zero, or how to get a second passport as quick as 45 days. And I'll look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.